What if the way you begin this morning could quietly change the way your whole life begins to feel? What if, before the noise of the day enters your mind, before the world asks anything from you, before old worries begin to speak, you could choose something softer, something kinder, something stronger than fear? You can. You can begin this morning with love, not with pressure, not with rushing, not with the heavy feeling that you must carry everything alone. You can begin with love, and that one choice can start to heal your mind, calm your body, and shape the energy of your whole day. There is a sacred feeling in the early hours of the morning. Before the day becomes busy, there is a quiet opening, a small, peaceful space. And in that space, your heart is listening, your body is listening, your mind is listening, life is listening. The way you speak to yourself in these first moments matters more than you may realize. The thoughts you think, the feelings you allow, the words you repeat, they all become the tone of the hours ahead. So this moment is not small. This moment is not ordinary. This moment is powerful. This moment is the beginning. So pause for a breath, just one soft, easy breath. Breathe in gently and let your body know it is safe. Breathe out slowly and let your body release the need to hurry. Again, breathe in peace, breathe out pressure, breathe in love, breathe out fear. Let your breath become your first prayer of the day, your first act of kindness toward yourself. You do not need to earn this breath. You do not need to deserve this peace. It is already here. It is already waiting for you. It is already yours. So many people begin the morning by reaching for worry before they reach for peace. The mind wakes up and quickly starts counting problems. It thinks about what went wrong yesterday. It thinks about, it might go wrong today. It starts planning, fixing, rushing, and bracing. And before the day has even truly begun, the heart already feels tired. The shoulders already feel heavy. The body already feels tight. But this morning can be different. This morning does not have to begin in struggle. It can begin in softness. It can begin in trust. It can begin in love. Love is not weak. Love is not foolish. Love is not just a sweet idea. Love is healing power. Love is the energy that returns you to yourself. Love is the quiet voice that says, you do not have to fight your way through this day. Love is the hand that rests on your heart and reminds you, you are still here, you are still worthy, you are still held by life. When you begin the morning with love, you are not pretending that life is always easy. You are choosing the energy that helps you move through life with more grace. You are choosing the inner ground you stand on. You are choosing what leads you. And maybe that is what your heart has been longing for. Not more pressure, not more force, not another reason to doubt yourself. Maybe your heart has been longing for one simple thing. A gentler beginning, a kinder first thought, a softer way to enter the day. Many people spend years believing they must push themselves into healing, push themselves into peace, push themselves into being enough. But healing does not bloom in harshness. Peace does not grow in constant inner attack. Your mind, your body, and your spirit respond to kindness. They respond to love. They respond to the feeling of being safe. Imagine starting the day without fighting yourself. Imagine opening your eyes and not reaching for old pain. Imagine choosing not to begin with fear. Imagine placing your hand on your heart before the world touches you and saying, "Today I choose love." Just that, just a soft choice, just a simple truth. Today I choose love. Those words may seem small, but they carry power. They begin to change the feeling in your chest. They begin to soften the breath. They begin to slow the racing mind. They begin to send a new message through your whole being, a message of safety, a message of healing, a message that says, "I do not have to begin this day in battle." There is something beautiful that happens when love becomes the first energy of the morning. The day does not feel so sharp. The mind does not feel so crowded. The body does not feel so burdened. Things may still need your attention. Life may still ask things of you. You may still have responsibilities, decisions, work, healing, and change ahead of you. But when love goes first, everything feels different. The same life can feel lighter. The same morning can feel more open. The same day can begin to carry a new kind of grace. Love changes how you meet yourself, and that is where a true healing begins. It begins in the way you speak to your own heart. It begins in the way you hold your own mind. It begins in the way you treat your own body. If the first voice you hear each day is a voice of fear, your whole system tightens. But if the first voice you hear is a voice of love, your whole system begins to open. Your body listens. Your cells listen. Your nervous system listens. Your spirit listens. Life inside you responds to the tone you set. So this morning, let the tone be gentle. Let it be warm. Let it be healing. Let it say, "I do not need to know everything right now. I do not need to carry tomorrow before today has even started. I do not need to wake up already in a race. I can begin here. I can begin now. I can begin with love." There is wisdom in beginning slowly. There is strength in not rushing your spirit. There is power in refusing to let fear be the first thing that enters your mind. Fear will always try to speak quickly. Love speaks more softly. Fear demands. Love reminds. Fear rushes. Love breathes. Fear tells you that you are behind, that something is wrong, that you must hurry, prove, fix, and protect. Love tells you that this moment is enough to begin. Love tells you that peace is available now. Love tells you that you can meet this day with trust. The morning is like fresh ground. What you place into it begins to grow. If you plant worry, you will feel worry spreading through your day. If you plant criticism, you will carry criticism into your choices, your words, your body, your mood. But if you plant love, love begins to grow roots. It begins to shape your energy. It begins to color your thoughts. It begins to guide your responses. And little by little, What started as one loving moment becomes the feeling of your whole day. Perhaps you have forgotten how powerful your first moments are. Perhaps you have become used to waking up in tension. Perhaps stress has become such a normal part of life that peace feels strange. But peace is not strange. Love is not far away. They are closer than your next breath. They are waiting in the quiet before the day begins to move. They are waiting in the space between one thought and the next. They are waiting in your willingness to begin differently. And you do not have to make this complicated. You do not need a perfect routine. You do not need to get everything right. You do not need to become a different person before you can start your morning with love. You only need a willing heart. You only need one breath. You only need one soft thought. You only need one true sentence. I begin this day with love. Let those words settle in you. Let them move through you. Let them become the first door that opens inside your heart. I begin this day with love. Say it inwardly, gently, with no force. I begin this day with love. Notice how different that feels from waking up with pressure, notice. How different it feels from waking up with dread. Notice how your body responds when your first inner words are kind. This is how healing begins, not in a dramatic moment, not in a loud effort, but in a simple choice repeated with tenderness. This is how a day begins to heal. This is how a life begins to soften. You may have things on your mind. You may be carrying old sadness, deep tiredness, quiet fear, or questions that still do not have answers. You may be waking into uncertainty. You may be healing something invisible. You may be trying to find your way through a season that feels heavy, and still, even here, love can meet you. Even here, this morning can hold you. Even here, you can begin with gentleness instead of judgment. Even here, you can choose to treat yourself like someone worth caring for. That matters. The way you speak to yourself matters. The way you start the day with yourself matters. You live with your own energy all day long. You live inside your own thoughts. You carry your own words in your body. So let those words be kind. Let them carry comfort instead of fear. Let them create room instead of pressure. Let them help you return to your center. There is no need to prove anything in this moment. There is no need to impress life. There is no need to wake up already defending yourself from the day. The sun does not rise in fear. The morning does not begin by apologizing. The light simply arrives, softly, naturally, faithfully. In the same way, love can arrive in you this morning, quietly, gently, steadily. You do not have to force it, you only have to allow it. And what does it mean to allow love? It means you stop talking to yourself like an enemy. It means you let one kind thought stay. It means you stop rushing to the worst feeling. It means you give yourself the gift of one peaceful breath before the mind begins its old stories. It means you remember that your heart needs tenderness, not attack. It means you trust that kindness is not weakness, kindness is medicine. So begin here, begin now. Feel your breath moving in and out. Feel the quiet truth that this day has not fully formed yet. It is still open. It is still listening. It is still waiting for the energy you will bring into it. Bring love, bring softness, bring trust. Let this morning become a healing place for you, not just a busy starting point, but a sacred opening, a place where your mind can rest for a moment, a place where your body can unclench, a place where your spirit can remember what is true. What is true is this: love heals, love calms, love steadies, love opens, love restores, love changes the way you walk into the hours ahead. And when you begin the day with love, you are not only creating a better morning, you are teaching your whole being a new way to live, a new way to wake, a new way to meet yourself, a new way to meet life. Some mornings will still feel hard. Some days will still ask a lot from you. Love does not erase every challenge, but it changes how you carry them. It changes the spirit in which you meet them. It changes the space inside you. It reminds you that you can face life without abandoning yourself. It reminds you that your peace matters. It reminds you that your healing matters. It reminds you that starting softly is not falling behind. It is building strength in the right place. The strongest beginning is not always the loudest one. Sometimes the strongest beginning is the gentlest one. A quiet breath, a hand over the heart, a soft thought, a loving sentence, a moment of stillness before movement, a choice not to begin with fear. These things may look small from the outside, but inside you, they are life-changing. They shape your energy. They teach your body trust. They invite your mind into peace. They prepare your day to unfold in a different way. So let this be your morning truth. Let this be the first thing you remember before the noise returns. You can begin this day with love. You can begin this day with peace. You can begin this day with healing. You can begin this day by choosing not to fight yourself. You can begin this day by coming home to your own heart. I begin this day with love. Let that sentence become warm inside you. Let it repeat itself gently through your thoughts like soft morning light touching a room. I begin this day with love, not with fear, not with pressure, not with old pain leading the way. I begin this day with love. And because I begin with love, something in me begins to heal. Because I begin with love, my body softens. Because I begin with love, my whole day begins to change. You do not need to see the whole path ahead to begin this way. You do not need to solve the whole day. You do not need to know how everything will unfold. You only need this moment. You only need this breath. You only need this one opening. Love does not ask you to have all the answers. Love asks you to be present. Love asks you to begin with tenderness. Love asks you to trust that how you start matters. So before another thought rushes in, before another old fear tries to speak, choose your beginning. Choose it with care. Choose it with softness. Choose it with faith. Choose it with love, because the way you begin your morning begins to teach life how to meet you. And today, life can meet you in peace. Today, life can meet you in healing. Today, life can meet you in love. The morning is not just the first part of the day. It is the doorway into everything that follows. It is the moment where your energy begins to take shape. It is the place where your thoughts gather, where your feelings begin to move, where your body receives its first message about what this day will feel like. And that is why the morning matters so deeply. The way you begin does not stay only in the first few minutes. It travels with you. It moves into your words, into your choices, into your breathing, into the way you carry yourself through the hours ahead. If you begin the day in fear, that fear often stays close. It may show up in how quickly you become upset. It may show up in how easily your body becomes tense. It may show up in the way your mind jumps to the worst outcome. It may show up in the way you speak to yourself when something goes wrong. And if you begin the day in stress, stress becomes the background feeling of the day. Even small things can start to feel too big. Even simple moments can feel rushed. Even peace can feel far away when the day begins from a place of inner pressure. But when you begin with love, you set a different tone. You teach your body something new. You show your mind a new path. You remind your heart that it does not need to spend the whole day defending itself. Love in the morning is like a soft light entering a room that has been dark for too long. It does not force. It does not attack. It does not shout. It simply fills the space. And once that light is there, everything is seen differently. The room is still the same room, but it feels different. Your life may still be the same life, but it begins to feel different when love is the energy that enters first. Many people underestimate the power of emotional direction. They think the day is just the day. They think things happen and then they react. But the truth is that your inner state shapes the way you meet what happens. Two people can walk into the same kind of day and live it very differently because of the energy they began with. One begins with pressure and everything feels heavy. Another begins with trust and even difficulty feels more manageable. The outer world matters, yes, but the inner beginning matters too. The first emotional tone of the day becomes the music under everything else. Imagine waking up and immediately telling yourself that there is too much to do, not enough time, too many problems, too much uncertainty. What happens in your body when those are the first messages you receive? The chest tightens, the breathing becomes shallow, the mind becomes fast and crowded, the stomach may feel uneasy, the shoulders may rise, the whole system enters defense. The day has not even asked anything from you yet, but already your body is preparing for danger. Already your energy is being shaped by fear. Now imagine something different. Imagine waking up and saying, "Today I move gently. Today I begin with love. Today I trust that I can meet this day with peace." Feel the difference in that. The body receives a different signal. The breath opens. The face softens. The chest relaxes. The mind does not need to sprint. The day begins with space, and in that space, You can think more clearly, feel more deeply, choose more wisely, and respond more kindly. This is not a small change. This changes the quality of the whole day. Your morning is like the first drop of color placed into water. It spreads, it reaches everything, it becomes part of all that follows. If the first drop is fear, fear begins to spread. If the first drop is irritation, irritation begins to tint the day. If the first drop is gratitude, gratitude begins to soften your view. If the first drop is love, then love begins to move through the hours ahead. This is why your morning choices matter, not because you must make them perfectly, but because they are creative. They shape the field of your day. And perhaps this is what many people miss. They wait for the day to decide how they will feel. They wait for good news, for easier conditions, for other people to behave differently, for circumstances to improve. But your power begins before that. Your power begins in the energy you choose before the day speaks. Your power begins in what you plant before the world adds its noise. Your power begins in the quiet place where only you and your heart are meeting. That is where the day starts taking shape. Some people think peace comes later, after everything is done, after the tasks are finished, after the problems are solved, after the schedule becomes easier, after someone else changes. But peace that depends on perfect conditions is a peace that rarely arrives. Real peace begins within. It begins in the first thoughts of the morning. It begins in your relationship with yourself. It begins in how you choose to enter the day. If you wait for life to calm down before you allow yourself peace, you may wait a very long time. But if you begin the day with peace, then peace becomes the ground you walk on, even while life is still unfolding. This is why the morning is so holy. It is not holy because it is always quiet outside. It is holy because it is a moment of choice inside, a moment where you can begin again. Yesterday may have held stress. Yesterday may have held sadness. Yesterday may have held mistakes, confusion, disappointment, or pain. But this morning is still open. This morning is still fresh. This morning is still a new field, and what you place into it matters. If you place self-attack into it, the day begins hard. If you place love into it, the day begins to heal. Healing your day does not mean making every part of it easy. It means changing the spirit in which you move through it. It means that when something unexpected happens, you are not already emptied by your own harshness. It means that when stress appears, your body has not been living in stress since the first minute you woke up. It means that when you need patience, there is still some peace left inside you because you began the day by filling yourself with something gentle. This is why morning love matters. It prepares you. It protects your energy. It steadies your inner world. You are always carrying an inner atmosphere, and that atmosphere begins early. If you rush into the morning with no pause, you carry rush into every room. If you begin the day already criticizing yourself, you carry that voice into every task. If you begin with fear, you carry that fear into every conversation, every silence, every waiting moment. But if you begin with love, You carry a different atmosphere. You carry more softness. You carry more patience. You carry more trust. You carry more space. And people feel it. Your body feels it. Your choices reflect it. Even your thoughts begin to organize themselves around the energy you choose. A fearful morning invites fearful thinking. A loving morning invites kinder thinking. The same mind that usually becomes crowded can begin to feel clearer when it starts in peace. The same body that often wakes up tight can begin to feel safer when it is met with warmth. The same heart that has been bracing itself can begin to open when the first message it receives is not attack, but care. Maybe you have seen this in your own life. Maybe on the mornings when you wake up late, rush immediately, and begin with panic. The whole day feels off balance. Little things bother you more. Your energy feels scattered. Your body feels behind. Your mind becomes impatient. But on mornings when you give yourself even a little care, a little quiet, a little breath, a little gratitude, the day feels different. You are still living life. You are still doing what needs to be done. But there is more space around it, more grace in it, more steadiness beneath it. That is what morning love creates. It does not remove your responsibilities. It changes your relationship to them. It does not make you lazy. It makes you grounded. It does not pull you away from life. It helps you enter life more fully, more calmly, more clearly. Love at the start of the day becomes strength later in the day. The gentleness you give yourself in the morning becomes patience you can offer in the afternoon. The peace you breathe in early becomes wisdom you can return to when the day grows loud. And this can begin with something so simple that the mind may almost miss it. One breath before touching the phone, one moment of stillness before checking the time, one hand on the heart before standing up, one sentence spoken inwardly with kindness, one choice not to begin the day by telling yourself everything that is wrong. One gentle pause, one reminder. This morning sets the tone. This morning matters. This beginning travels with me. There is a reason the first light of day feels different. It carries possibility. It carries renewal. It carries the feeling that something new can begin. And your heart understands this, even when your mind forgets. Your deeper self knows that mornings are not just repeats of yesterday. They are chances to choose again, chances to speak differently, chances to breathe differently, chances to feel differently, chances to remember what kind of energy you want to live inside. What kind of day do you want to create from the inside? A day led by fear, a day led by pressure, a day led by old habits of worry, or a day led by love, trust, softness, and peace? The answer begins now, not later. It begins in the small moments. It begins before the rush. It begins before the demands. It begins in the way you choose to greet your own life when you first wake up. And if you have spent many mornings beginning with tension, that is all right. There is no blame here. There is only awareness. There is only this quiet invitation to begin differently now. The body learns through repetition. The mind learns through repetition. The heart opens through repetition. So each morning that you begin with love, you are teaching yourself something new. You are teaching yourself that the day does not have to begin in fear. You are teaching yourself that peace is possible before circumstances become perfect. You are teaching yourself that healing can begin before anything outside changes. One loving morning becomes another. One peaceful beginning becomes a pattern. One soft first thought becomes a new way of living. And little by little, the whole day begins to change, because the beginning changes, the energy changes, the atmosphere changes, the inner message changes. What once felt like a habit of stress can slowly become a habit of trust. What once felt like automatic worry can slowly become gentle presence. What once felt like emotional heaviness can slowly become steadiness. That is the gift of the morning. It does not ask you to change your whole life in one moment. It only asks you to begin with awareness, to begin with care, to begin with a simple understanding that what comes first enters deep. What comes first shapes what follows. What comes first matters. And so let love come first. Let kindness come first. Let peace come first. Let healing come first. Say softly within yourself, the way I begin my morning shapes the way I live my day. Let that truth sink in. The way I begin my morning shapes the way I live my day. And because that is true, I choose love, I choose peace, I choose trust, I choose a softer beginning. I choose to give my mind a kinder first thought. I choose to give my body a calmer first feeling. I choose to give my heart a gentler first message. This is how the day begins to heal before it even unfolds. This is how your energy begins to align before the world enters. This is how you stop handing the first moments of the day to fear. This is how you reclaim your beginning. This is how you start to feel that life is not only something happening to you, but something you are meeting with intention, something you are blessing with the energy you choose, something you are shaping from the inside. So do not rush past your mornings as if they mean nothing. Do not give them away to stress without noticing their power. Do not forget that your first thoughts are seeds, your first feelings are signals, your first words are instructions. Let them carry love. Let them carry healing. Let them carry the energy you want to live in for the rest of the day. Morning sets the energy for the whole day. And because that is true, this morning can become a turning point. This morning can become your place of healing. This morning can become the beginning of a new inner habit. This morning can teach your mind peace, your body ease, your heart trust. This morning can remind you that your day is not only shaped by what happens to you, it is also shaped by what you bring to it, and what you bring can be love. Now place your hand gently over your heart and feel the quiet life within you. Feel the steady beat. Feel the warmth beneath your palm. Feel the simple truth that you are here. Breathing, living, beginning again. And in this moment, before the day asks for anything, give yourself this gift. Speak softly inwardly, or whisper it out loud if you like. I begin this day with love. Let the words land slowly. I begin this day with love, again with tenderness. I begin this day with love. These are not empty words. These are not just sounds passing through the air. These words carry direction. They carry energy. They carry healing. When you speak an affirmation with feeling, you begin to guide your mind toward a new way of living. You begin to guide your body toward a new way of feeling. You begin to guide your heart toward a new way of meeting the world. An affirmation is a loving decision spoken clearly. It is a way of telling life, this is the energy I choose. This is the truth I am ready to live from. I begin this day with love. Notice how different that sentence feels from the usual morning tension. It does not rush you. It does not shame you. It does not demand that you become perfect. It simply opens a door. It says, before anything else, let love come first. Before fear starts speaking, let love speak. Before old habits begin, let love begin. Before the mind remembers every reason to worry, let the heart remember one reason to soften. I begin this day with love. Many people speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to someone they care about, especially in the morning. The day starts, and already there is pressure. Already there is self-criticism. Already there is a list of everything that feels unfinished. Already there is a feeling of not being enough, not doing enough, not moving fast enough, but an affirmation interrupts that old pattern. It gently says, there is another way to begin. There is another voice you can follow. There is another truth available to you. The voice of love, the truth of kindness, the choice of peace. When you repeat a loving affirmation, you are not pretending that there is no difficulty in life. You are choosing how you will stand inside your life. You are choosing your starting place. You are choosing the emotional ground beneath your feet, and that changes more than you may realize, because when your mind hears loving words again and again, it begins to loosen its grip on fear. When your body receives a soft message instead of a harsh one, it begins to feel safer. When your heart is spoken to with tenderness, it opens. I begin this day with love. Say it again inwardly, and let each word mean something. I begin. That means this is a fresh moment. This is a new opening. I am not trapped in yesterday. I am not forced to repeat the same beginning. This day, not some future day when everything is easier, not some perfect day when there are no problems. This day, this real day, this ordinary day, this living day, with love, not with force, not with fear, not with dread, not with blame, with love. The beauty of a simple affirmation is that it gives the mind something gentle to hold. The mind often wakes up looking for something to think about, something to solve, something to fear, something to fix. But when you offer it a peaceful sentence, you give it a new center, you give it something healing to return to. Every time worry tries to rise, the affirmation can meet it. Every time fear starts to speak, the affirmation can soften it. Every time old thoughts return, the affirmation can become a light in the room. I begin this day with love. Let that sentence move through your morning like a calm stream. Let it wash through the places that feel tense. Let it pass through the mind. Let it settle in the chest. Let it reach the body. Your body is always listening. It listens to stress. It listens to criticism. It listens to panic. But it also listens to kindness. It listens to gentleness. It listens to peace. It listens to love. And what the body hears often, the body begins to believe. So let it hear this. Let it hear that the day can begin safely. Let it hear that it does not need to brace itself. Let it hear that love is here. Perhaps you have never really allowed yourself to start the day this way. Perhaps the morning has always felt like a race. Perhaps your thoughts move quickly the moment you wake up. Perhaps your body is used to waking in tension. Perhaps being gentle with yourself feels unfamiliar. That is all right. You do not need to do this perfectly. You do not need to force yourself to feel something dramatic. You only need to begin. You only need to repeat the words with willingness. Even a small willingness opens the heart. Affirmations work quietly. They work through repetition. They work through steadiness. They work like drops of water softening stone. One repetition may feel simple, but many repetitions begin to shape new inner paths. A loving thought, repeated daily, becomes a new habit of mind. A peaceful sentence, repeated each morning, becomes a new emotional home. A kind word, spoken often enough, begins to replace years of inner hardness. This is why simple words matter. This is why morning affirmations matter. They are planting something. What are you planting at the start of the day? Are you planting fear? Are you planting pressure? Are you planting self-doubt? Or are you planting love? An affirmation is like placing a seed into the fresh ground of the morning, and the ground is ready. The morning mind is open. The morning heart is listening. The morning body is receiving signals. So plant carefully, plant gently. Plant what you want to grow. Plant love. I begin this day with love. You can feel the truth of it even now. Maybe only a little. Maybe like a small shift in the breath. Maybe like a little space opening in the chest. Maybe like a quiet softening in the shoulders. That is enough. Healing often begins with small signs. A body that softens a little. A thought that slows down. A heart that feels less alone. A morning that feels less heavy. Do not overlook these small changes. They are real. They are sacred. They are the beginning of something new. And there is another beautiful thing about a morning affirmation. It becomes a shield, not a hard shield, but a soft one, a shield of energy, a shield of intention, a shield of inner truth. When the world grows noisy later in the day, you can remember how you began. When stress rises, you can return to your first words. When something does not go as planned, you can come back to your center. I began this day with love, and I can return to love now. That is power, quiet power, healing power. Sometimes people wait until they feel peaceful before they speak peaceful words, but it can also work the other way. Sometimes you speak the peaceful words first, and little by little peace follows. Sometimes you say the loving truth before you fully feel it, and the feeling grows around the truth. Sometimes the affirmation leads the heart home. So do not wait until you feel perfect calm. Use the words to help create it. Use the words to guide yourself there. Use the words as a bridge. I begin this day with love. I begin this day with kindness. I begin this day with peace. You may repeat one phrase or many. The point is not complexity. The point is direction. The point is to let your whole being know how this day begins. Let the mind hear it. Let the body hear it. Let the heart hear it. Let life hear it. The energy you choose at the beginning sends a message on, and to everything that follows. There is a softness that grows when an affirmation is spoken with sincerity, not with strain, not with performance, simply with sincerity. So let your words be simple. Let them be clear. Let them be easy enough for your whole being to receive. You do not need complicated language for healing. The deepest truths are often the simplest ones. Love heals. Peace is possible. This day can begin differently. I begin this day with love. Sit with that for a moment. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe keep your hand on your heart. Maybe take one more easy breath. Feel how steady your heart has been. Even through difficult days, feel how your breath keeps returning again and again, asking nothing but your willingness to receive it. There is already so much love in life. It is in the breath. It is in the light. It is in the chance to begin again. And now, by speaking this affirmation, you are choosing to join that love. You are choosing to live from it. You are choosing to let it lead. An affirmation is not about making something false become true. It is about helping you remember what is already possible. Love is already possible this morning. Peace is already possible this morning. Healing is already possible this morning. But the mind forgets. The body forgets. Habit forgets. And so the affirmation becomes a reminder, a holy reminder, a simple reminder, a healing reminder. I begin this day with love. Let those words touch the places in you that have been tired. Let them touch the part of you that feels burdened. Let them touch the part of you that has been afraid to hope for a softer life. Let them touch the part of you that wakes up already heavy. Let the affirmation go there. Let it become warmth. Let it become relief. Let it become permission. Permission to be gentle. Permission to start slow. Permission to choose peace before pressure. Permission to let love come first. And if the mind argues, let it argue softly in the background while you keep choosing the affirmation. The mind may say, but there is so much to do. The mind may say, but life is hard. The mind may say, but you do not know what this day will bring. And still you can answer with love, yes, and I begin this day with love, yes, and I choose peace first, yes, and I will not abandon myself at the doorway of the day. This is what an affirmation does. It gives your deeper truth a voice. Many people have spent years repeating fearful affirmations without realizing it. I am behind. I am not enough. Nothing ever changes. Today will be hard. I cannot do this. These are affirmations too, though painful ones. They shape energy. They shape expectation. They shape feeling. So today, let a new affirmation take root. Let a loving sentence replace the old fear. Let a healing phrase become your new morning ground. I begin this day with love. You may repeat it while sitting quietly. You may repeat it while making the bed. You may repeat it while washing your face. You may repeat it while the morning light enters the room. You may repeat it while standing by the window. You may repeat it before speaking to anyone else. The more gently you repeat it, the more it begins to settle in. The more often you return to it, the more natural it becomes. Little by little, your mornings begin to recognize this voice. Little by little, your body begins to expect this kindness. Little by little, love becomes a habit. And what a beautiful habit that is, to begin the day not by wounding yourself, but by blessing yourself, not by rushing into fear, but by grounding into peace, not by picking up yesterday's pain before your feet even touch the floor, but by opening your heart to a new energy. This is what the affirmation makes possible. It changes the entry point. It changes the first inner movement of the day. It changes the message you send through your life. So say it again with quiet belief, or even with quiet willingness. If belief still feels far away, I begin this day with love. Again, I begin this day with love. Let it become softer each time and deeper each time. Let it move from the lips into the heart. Let it move from the mind into the body. Let it move from the body into the energy of your whole day. And if you want, add another gentle truth beside it. My mind is at peace. My body is safe. Love is guiding me today. This day is blessed. I move gently through this morning. Life supports me. These simple words are not too small to matter. They are exactly the kind of words that shape a healing life. They are easy enough to remember when the mind is tired. They are soft enough to reach the heart. They are clear enough to carry real energy. Your first words in the morning matter because they become the first emotional home of the day. So make that home loving, make it kind, make it peaceful, make it safe. Let the first place you live each morning be a place of care. Let the first voice you hear be one that does not attack you. Let the first truth you repeat be one that helps you heal. There is no need to rush away from this moment. Stay with it a little longer. Hand over heart, breath moving softly, words landing gently. I begin this day with love. Let that be enough for now. Let that be the opening. Let that be the seed. Let that be the first blessing you offer your mind, your body, and your day. Your mind has been carrying so much for so long. It holds thoughts, memories, worries, plans, fears, old pain, and the quiet pressure of trying to stay ahead of everything. Many people move through life with a mind that never truly rests. Even in the morning, before the day has fully started, the mind is already busy. It begins talking right away. It remembers what is unfinished. D. It reaches for what feels uncertain. It goes back to what hurt. It looks ahead to what might go wrong. And when this happens again and again, the mind begins to believe that this is normal, that this is just how life feels, that peace is far away and calm is only for other people. But that is not the truth. Your mind can heal, your thoughts can soften, your inner world can become a kinder place to live. Healing the mind does not begin with fighting your thoughts. It does not begin with trying to force yourself to be positive every second. It does not begin with shame or inner pressure. The mind does not heal through attack. It heals through love. It heals when you stop treating every fearful thought like a failure. It heals when you stop judging yourself for feeling overwhelmed. It heals when you learn to meet your own inner noise with gentleness instead of fear. Love is what teaches the mind that it does not have to stay in survival all the time. Love is what tells the mind, you are safe enough to slow down now. You do not have to solve everything this very moment. You do not have to carry the whole day before the day has even begun. So many thoughts that create suffering are not even true in the deep sense. They are habits. They are old patterns. They are repeated fears. They are stories the mind learned to tell in order to protect you. The mind often believes that if it keeps worrying, it will keep you safe. If it keeps planning every detail, nothing bad will happen. If it keeps replaying the past, it will somehow prevent pain in the future. But this constant thinking does not bring peace. It brings exhaustion. It fills the morning with noise. It keeps the heart tight. It makes simple moments feel heavy. Love begins to undo that. Love gently tells the mind that it can stop guarding every door. Love reminds the mind that rest is also wise. Love opens a space between you and the rush of your thoughts. You do not have to believe every thought that appears. This is one of the most healing truths you can remember. A thought may come, and still you do not have to build your whole morning around it. A fearful thought may arrive, and still you do not have to feed it. A harsh thought may speak, and still you do not have to agree with it. The mind often sends out old messages simply because it is used to doing so. It repeats what it has repeated before. But when love enters, something changes. Instead of saying, "This thought is me," you begin to say, "This is only a thought, and I choose something kinder." That is healing. That is how the mind begins to breathe again. What if this morning you did not obey every worried thought? What if you did not follow every fear into its long, dark story? What if instead you noticed the thought, breathed, and chose love? You could say, "Thank you, mind, but I do not need to go there right now." You could say, "I hear that fear, but I choose peace." You could say, I do not need to solve everything this moment. I am safe enough to begin slowly. These are simple choices, but they are powerful. They teach your mind a new path. They help it learn that love can lead where fear once led. There is often a deep tiredness underneath a restless mind. The mind is not always noisy because it is strong. Sometimes it is noisy because it is afraid. Sometimes it is noisy because it has not known what else to do. Sometimes it is noisy because it has been holding too much for too long. So when you bring love to your mind, do not bring it like a command. Bring it like comfort. Bring it like warm light entering a room. Bring it like a soft hand on a frightened shoulder. Bring it like a whisper that says, you do not have to keep running. You can rest here. You can begin again here. You can be held here. This kind of love changes the way you think over time. It does not happen all at once. It happens gently. The mind learns by repetition. Just as it learned fear through repetition, it can learn peace through repetition too. Each morning that you begin with a loving thought, you plant a new seed. Each time you speak kindly to your own mind, you weaken an old habit of fear. Each time you choose not to believe the harshest voice, you create more inner freedom. The change may feel small at first, but small shifts matter. A thought that softens a little, a breath that deepens a little, a morning that feels less crowded, a mind that becomes less cruel. These are holy changes. You may have thoughts that say, I am not enough. I am behind. Something bad is coming. Nothing will change. I always feel this way. But these thoughts are not the deepest truth of who you are. They are only practiced thoughts, and what has been practiced can be changed. A loving morning begins that change by offering your mind a new message. Instead of I am behind, love says, I am where I am, and I can begin from here. Instead of something bad is coming, love says, I am safe in this moment. Instead of nothing will change, love says, healing is already beginning. Instead of I am not enough, love says, I am worthy of a peaceful mind. A peaceful mind is not an empty mind. It is not a mind with no thoughts at all. It is a mind that is no longer ruled by fear. It is a mind that has learned not to chase every painful idea. It is a mind that knows how to return to center. It is a mind that has discovered that calm is possible, even when life is still moving. Love teaches the mind that kind of peace, not by force, not by denial, but by steady, patient care. When you begin your morning with love, your mind receives a message before the world sends its own. It receives a message that says, peace comes first, kindness comes first, safety comes first, healing comes first. And because that message comes early, it begins to shape everything after. When a hard thought appears later, it does not feed. Quite as strong, because love already entered first. When the day becomes busy, your mind remembers that it began in calm. When stress appears, there is something softer inside you to return to. Think of the mind like a room that has become crowded over time. Too many voices, too many fears, too many old stories stacked in the corners. Love does not rush in and throw everything out at once. It opens a window, It lets in air. It lets in light. It creates space. It begins to clear what has felt too heavy, and little by little, the room feels easier to live in. That is what loving thoughts do. They do not always erase everything at once, but they change the atmosphere. They make healing possible. And your mind needs that atmosphere. It needs a place where it is not being attacked all day. It needs moments where it is not told that it is failing simply because it feels tired. It needs kindness after long seasons of pressure. It needs to hear words like, "You are doing your best. You can slow down. You are allowed to begin again." You do not need to know everything right now. These are not weak thoughts. These are healing thoughts. These are thoughts that return dignity to the inner world. These are thoughts that help your mind feel safe enough to unclench. Many people speak of healing as if it must be dramatic, but some of the deepest healing is quiet. It happens when you stop waking up and attacking yourself. It happens when the first thought of the day is gentle. It happens when you forgive the mind for being afraid. It happens when you choose not to make fear your leader. It happens when, instead of saying, "What is wrong with me?" you say, "What do I need right now?" That question alone can soften the whole morning. What do I need right now? Maybe the answer is one deep breath. Maybe it is stillness. Maybe it is kindness. Maybe it is less pressure. Maybe it is a reminder that love is stronger than panic. You can begin to speak to your mind as you would speak to someone dear to you. If a loved one woke up anxious, you would not rush in and tell them they were failing. You would not shame them for their fear. You would not tell them to hurry up and get over it. You would speak softly. You would soothe them. You would remind them that they are okay. You deserve that same love. Your own mind deserves your compassion. Your own inner world deserves your tenderness. This morning is a chance to give it that. So if your thoughts feel busy right now, do not be afraid of them. Sit with them gently. Let them pass without grabbing all your attention. Let your breath remind you that not every thought needs your energy. Let love become the stronger voice. You can say, "My mind is learning peace." You can say, "I release these fearful thoughts with love." You can say, "I choose calm over chaos." You can say, "I speak kindly to my mind today." These simple sentences begin to create order where there was only noise, and the mind responds, maybe not all at once, but it responds. It begins to trust this new voice. It begins to understand that mornings no longer have to start with battle. It begins to let go a little sooner. It begins to rest a little deeper. It begins to believe that peace is not a stranger. It begins to remember that love is a place it can live. This is why the morning matters so much for mental healing. The thoughts that come first often shape the rest. So let the first thoughts be loving. Let the first message be soft. Let the first truth be healing. You do not need to clear your entire mind in one morning. You only need to begin a new relationship with it. A kinder relationship, a gentler relationship, a relationship where you are no longer at war with your own thoughts. Say softly to yourself now, "Love heals my mind." Let it land. Love heals my mind. Again, with ease. Love heals my mind. Let those words move through the places that still feel crowded. Let them touch the thoughts that still feel sharp. Let them soften the old patterns. Let them remind you that your mind is not beyond healing. It is already responding. It is already listening. It is already beginning to change. The more you meet your mind with love, the less power fear has over it. The more you begin your morning with kindness, the less room old panic has to spread. The more you practice peace, the more natural peace becomes. This is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming gentler. It is about choosing not to wound yourself first thing in the morning. It is about deciding that the mind inside you deserves a loving beginning. And so, as this day starts to open before you, let your mind rest in a new truth. It does not have to race to earn safety. It does not have to think endlessly to deserve peace. It does not have to carry every possible problem before one has even arrived. It can breathe. It can receive love. It can heal here. It can begin again here. This morning, let your mind be held by kindness. Let it be guided by calm. Let it be healed by love. Your body is always listening, even when you are not fully aware of it. It listens to the tone of your thoughts. It listens to the pace of your breathing. It listens to the words you speak over yourself. It listens to the energy you carry into the morning. The body hears stress and it responds. The body hears fear and it tightens. The body hears pressure and it braces. The body hears criticism and it becomes heavy. Over time, so many people begin to live inside bodies that are always preparing for something hard. The jaw tightens, the shoulders rise, the stomach knots, the chest feels closed, the breath becomes short, the body keeps carrying what the mind keeps saying. That is why love is not only healing for the heart or mind, love is healing for the body too. When you begin the day with love, the body receives a different message. It receives the message that this moment is safe enough to soften. It receives the message that it does not have to wake up and fight. It receives the message that it can unclench. That is no small thing. The body has been doing so much for you. It has carried your fears. It has held your memories. It has moved you through hard days. It has kept going even when your spirit felt tired. And now, in the quiet of the morning, it needs kindness. It needs peace. It needs love. Many people think of the body only when something hurts, when something feels wrong, when energy is low, when tension rises, when sleep is poor, when stress becomes too much to ignore. But your body is speaking all the time. It speaks in tightness. It speaks in tiredness. It speaks in ease. It speaks in breath. It speaks in the way it reacts to your inner world. If you begin the day already worried, the body hears that. If you start the day with patience and care, the body hears that too. Love becomes a kind of medicine, not because it changes everything in a moment, but because it gives the body what it has been longing for, a safe inner place to rest. Take a moment and notice your body right now. Notice your shoulders, notice your jaw, notice your hands, notice your chest, notice your belly, notice the way you are breathing. You do not need to judge anything you find, just notice. Is there tightness somewhere? Is there a place that feels tired? Is there a part of you that has been holding on? So often we move through the morning without even asking the body how it feels. We rush it. We expect it to keep up. We push it into the day without listening. But healing begins when you listen. Healing begins when you care. Healing begins when you stop treating your body like a machine and start meeting it like a living part of you that deserves love. The body relaxes when it feels safe. That is one of the deepest truths of healing. And safety is not only about what is happening around you, it is also about what is happening inside you. A body can be in a quiet room and still feel unsafe if the mind is full of fear. A body can be in a normal morning and still feel under pressure if the first inner words are harsh. But when love enters, the body begins to receive something different. It feels the slower breath. It feels the softer tone. It feels the gentler thoughts. It feels the pause before the rush. And those things matter. They tell the nervous system that not everything is an emergency. They tell the muscles that they can let go a little. They tell the heart that it does not need to pound against invisible danger. This is why a loving morning can change how your body feels through the whole day. The body often follows the first signals it receives. If the first signal is panic, it prepares for strain. If the first signal is peace, it prepares for ease. This does not mean every symptom disappears. It does not mean every ache is gone at once. It means the body is no longer being flooded with stress from the very beginning. It means you are not adding more pressure to what the body is already carrying. It means you are becoming a source of comfort to your own system. There is healing in a slow breath. There is healing in unclenching the jaw. There is healing in lowering the shoulders. There is healing in placing a hand over the heart or belly and saying, I am here with you. There is healing in not pushing yourself awake with fear. Love enters in these simple ways, not as something dramatic, but as steady care. And the body understands steady care. It understands warmth. It understands calm repetition. It understands the language of gentleness far more deeply than most people realize. Your body has memory. It remembers stress. It remembers fear. It remembers the times you had to keep going when you felt empty. It remembers the seasons when you held back tears, swallowed pain, ignored your own needs, and kept moving anyway. The body stores so much. So when you begin the day with love, you are not only changing this morning, you are also giving something healing to the places in you that have been carrying too much for too long. Love tells the body, you do not have to hold it all alone anymore. Love says, I am listening now. Love says, I will not begin this day by abandoning you. Imagine how different the body feels when the morning begins with kindness instead of attack. Instead of pulling yourself out of bed with fear, you begin with one slow breath. Instead of filling your body with tension before standing up, you fill it with a softer message. Instead of rushing to everything that is wrong, you notice what is here and breathe into it. The body responds to that. The breath deepens, the muscles soften, the heart settles. Even if only a little at first, that little matters. It creates space, it creates relief, it creates a new pattern. And this matters because the body carries you through the whole day. It carries your work, your movement, your feelings, your responsibilities, your healing. It deserves to begin in peace. It deserves to start the day without being pushed into fear. It deserves a few moments of care before the demands begin. Think of how much better the whole day can feel when the body is not already tense by morning. Think of how much more gently you can move when your system is not starting in defense. Love gives the body a better beginning. So this morning, let your body know that it is allowed to relax. Let it know that ease is safe. Let it know that there is no prize for starting the day in pain and pressure. Let it know that softness is not weakness. Softness is healing. Sometimes people believe they must always stay high and to stay strong, but the body heals in softness. The body restores in rest. The body opens in safety. The body begins to trust when it feels cared for. Maybe there is a place in your body that has been asking for attention, a place of tension, a place of tiredness, a place that feels closed. Bring love there now, not force, not frustration, not fear. Bring love. You can do this simply by noticing it and breathing into it. You can do it by placing your hand there gently. You can do it by saying, "Thank you, body, for carrying me. I am listening to you now. I am kind to you now. I begin this day with love, and my body receives that love." There is no need to rush this. The body rarely heals in hurry. It heals in moments of real presence. It heals in care that is repeated. It heals when it is treated like something sacred instead of something to push past. Your body is not just a thing you use to move through the day. It is your living home. It is where your life happens. It is where your breath comes and goes. It is where emotion moves. It is where memory rests. It is where healing is felt. So treat it with tenderness, especially in the morning, especially at the beginning. The body blossoms under love just as the mind does. A calm body can think more clearly. A softened body can receive more peace. A body that feels safe can carry less hidden pain. And when love is the first energy of the morning, the body does not have to spend all day trying to recover from the way the day began. Instead, it starts supported. It starts heard. It starts respected. It starts in a better state to move through life. Say softly now, "Love heals my body." Let the words move through you. Love heals my body. Again, with trust, love heals my body. Feel how those words land differently than pressure. Feel how the body responds to being spoken to with kindness. It may not be dramatic. It may be quiet, a small release, a softer breath, a little warmth, a little less tension in the chest, a little more room in the belly, a little more ease in the shoulders. These are signs of healing too. You may not even realize how much your body has needed to hear something loving. Many people go years without speaking kindly to their own bodies. They speak only in complaint or disappointment. They look at the body with criticism. They push it when it is tired. They ignore it when it asks for rest. But love changes that relationship. Love says, "This body is not my enemy. This body has stayed with me through everything. This body deserves care. This body deserves patience. This body deserves healing words." And what if the body could trust you more each morning? What if it could begin to know that when you wake up, you will not greet it with pressure, but with peace? What if it could expect a gentle breath instead of immediate tension? What if it could hear words of support instead of silent attack? Over time, that kind of love changes the whole feeling of being alive in your own skin. It creates a home inside the body. It builds trust. It helps the body stop waiting for the next wave of pressure. So as this day begins, let your body feel loved. Let it know it does not need to earn tenderness. Let it know it does not need to be perfect to deserve peace. Let it know that you are listening now. Let it know that you are willing to move through this day with more softness. Let it know that the morning is not a place of battle anymore. It is a place of care. You can begin with one simple practice. Breathe into your body with kindness. Relax the places you can relax. Notice where you are gripping. Let the breath move there. Say inwardly, "I release tension with love. My body is safe in this moment. I move through this day with peace." These little messages go deep. They help the body shift from guarding to receiving. They help the day begin from ease instead of strain. And when the body feels even a little more at ease, the whole day changes. You think more clearly. You react less quickly. You feel more grounded. You carry less hidden stress. You move with more grace. This is the quiet power of beginning the morning with love. It reaches the body. It touches the places that words alone cannot always reach. It becomes felt. It becomes lived. It becomes part of your energy. So let this be true for you today. Love heals my body. Peace moves through me. I begin this day in softness. My breath is my friend. My body is listening. My body is worthy of care. My body is allowed to feel safe. Let those truths settle in. Let them become the atmosphere of your morning. Let them guide the way you rise, the way you move, the way you carry yourself into the hours ahead. Love is healing your body even now in these simple, quiet moments. When you begin the morning with love, something greater than mood begins to change. The whole energy of the day changes. The way you walk changes. The way you speak changes. The way you react changes. Even the way you notice things begins to shift. A day is not only made of tasks, meetings, chores, plans, and events. A day is also made of energy. It is made of the feeling you carry into those things. It is made of the spirit in which you move through them. And when love is the first energy of the morning, that love begins to travel with you. It becomes the atmosphere around your choices. It becomes the tone beneath your actions. It becomes the quiet power shaping the way the day unfolds. Many people think the day is shaped only by what happens outside them. They think that if the day is kind, they will feel kind. If the day is easy, they will feel peaceful. If things go wrong, the whole day is ruined. But the truth is deeper than that. What you bring into the day matters. 2. The energy you carry is not separate from what you experience. It colors it. It affects it. It changes the way you meet every moment. If you begin with fear, fear becomes the lens. If you begin with irritation, irritation becomes the lens. But if you begin with love, love becomes the lens. And through that lens, even ordinary moments feel softer, more spacious, more alive. Love changes the speed of the day inside you. The outer world may still move quickly. There may still be things to do. There may still be demands. But when love is leading, you do not feel as though you are running from the moment you open your eyes. You feel more rooted, more present, more able to stay with what is in front of you. Love slows the panic without slowing your wisdom. Love helps you move without feeling chased. Love allows you to be in the day instead of only trying to survive it. Think about how different a room feels when someone enters with calm instead of tension. Nothing outside has changed, and yet everything feels different. The same is true with your day. When you carry love into the morning, your energy touches everything. It touches the way you make breakfast. It touches the way you answer a message. It touches the way you speak to yourself when something is delayed. It touches the way you respond when a plan changes. It touches the way others feel around you. Love becomes like a quiet fragrance moving through the hours. You may not always see it, but you feel it. And this is important because so many people unknowingly carry yesterday's energy into today, yesterday's fear, yesterday's frustration, yesterday's disappointment. They wake up and immediately reopen the same emotional door. But this morning gives you another option. You do not have to bring old heaviness into fresh light. You can begin with love and let the day grow from there. You can begin with peace and let peace shape your pace. You can begin with trust and let trust soften the way you move through uncertainty. The energy you begin with becomes the energy you spread. If the morning starts with rush, rush spreads. If it starts with annoyance, annoyance spreads. If it starts with fear, fear spreads. But if it starts with love, love spreads too. It spreads into your expression. It spreads into your body language. It spreads into your conversations. It spreads into the way you wait, the way you listen, the way you respond. And often, without even realizing it, you begin to create a gentler day, not only for yourself, but for the people around you as well. Love changes your energy because love changes your center. It returns you to a place within yourself that is less reactive and more grounded. From that place, you do not need to take every small thing personally. You do not need to panic at every delay. You do not need to become hard every time something does not go the way you hoped. Love gives you room inside. It gives. As you space between the event and your reaction, It gives you a softer way to be strong. The beautiful thing about energy is that it is felt before it is explained. You may not always have words for it, but you know when a day feels heavy and when it feels open. You know when your system feels crowded and when it feels clear. You know when you are carrying tension and when you are moving in peace. Love shifts that. It changes the felt sense of the day. Even if the tasks are the same, the day feels different because you feel different inside it. Perhaps there have been mornings where you noticed this without naming it. A morning where you took a little time to breathe, to pray, to sit quietly, to speak kindly to yourself, and the whole day felt more balanced. Things may still have gone wrong, but you did not fall apart with them. You stayed steadier. You came back to yourself more easily. You felt more able to handle what came. That is the energy of love moving through the day. Not making life perfect, but making you more rooted in the middle of it. Love also changes what you expect. When fear leads, you often expect trouble. You expect disappointment. You expect pressure. The body stays ready. The mind stays guarded. But when love leads, expectation softens. You begin to allow for good. You begin to make room for ease. You begin to notice beauty. You begin to feel that life may hold kindness too. This does not mean ignoring problems. It means no longer training yourself to look only for pain. Love teaches you to stay open. And when you stay open, the day reveals more to you. A quiet moment you would have missed. A gentle answer to something you had been asking. A small kindness, a better reaction, a softer conversation, a little grace in the middle of busyness. These things were always possible, but fear often makes them hard to notice. Love sharpens your awareness for what is still good. It helps you feel life rather than only brace against it. The energy of love is not passive. It is deeply active. It chooses patience instead of instant anger. It chooses calm instead of panic. It chooses listening instead of rushing to fear. It chooses to begin again instead of staying trapped in one bad moment. That is strength. To carry love through a full day is not weakness. It is a form of power that heals while it leads. It allows you to move through life without losing yourself so quickly. You may still have moments today when stress rises. You may still feel tested. You may still have unexpected things happen. But when the morning begins with love, those moments do not own the whole day. They become moments, not your entire inner state, because there is already something steadier beneath them. There is already a tone set inside you. There is already a memory in the body of how this day began, and that memory matters. It becomes something you can return to again and again. Return is one of the great gifts of a loving morning. You do not have to stay perfect to stay connected. You only have to return. If you get pulled into rush, return. If fear rises, return. If irritation appears, return. Return to the breath. Return to the heart. Return to the truth you spoke this morning. I begin this day with love. that one sentence can become your path back all day long. Not just once, but many times. Love is not only how you begin, it is how you return. And the more you return, the more love becomes your natural energy. It becomes less like a special practice and more like your way of moving. You stop feeling that peace is something far away. You begin to feel that peace is something you can choose again and again. You stop believing the whole day is lost because one moment was hard. You remember that love is still available in the next breath, in the next choice, in the next sentence you speak to yourself. This changes the emotional shape of the whole day. Instead of one long chain of reaction, the day becomes full of chances to soften, full of chances to realign, full of chances to choose love again. A loving morning begins that pattern. It makes the rest of the day more forgiving, more spacious, more human, more alive with possibility. There is also something deeply spiritual about carrying love into the day. It changes the quality of your presence. It helps you feel connected, not only to yourself, but to life. It helps you move with trust instead of constant resistance. It helps you feel that the day is not only a list of things to get through, but a living experience to move through with awareness. Love brings meaning back into ordinary hours. It turns simple moments into places of healing. It turns routine into practice. It turns the day itself into a field where peace can grow. So this morning, do not think only about what you have to do. Think about what energy you want to bring into what you do. Do you want to bring rush or presence? Do you want to bring fear or trust? Do you want to bring hardness or love? Because whatever you bring will shape the feel of the day. Whatever you carry inwardly will become part of everything you touch. Say softly now, love leads my day. Let the words settle in. Love leads my day. Again, gently, love leads my day. Feel how that changes the way the hours ahead begin to look. If love leads your day, then you do not need to force every step. If love leads your day, then peace can walk beside you. If love leads your day, then you can respond instead of only react. If love leads your day, then even the hard parts can be met with more grace. You may still have a full day. You may still have things that require energy, care, attention, and courage. But love helps you bring the right kind of energy to them. It helps you stay connected to yourself. It helps you act without losing your center. It helps you keep your heart open while still being strong. That is a beautiful way to live. That is a healing way to move. That is a wiser way to carry the day. So as the morning continues, let love move ahead of you. Let it shape your pace. Let it soften your voice. Let it guide your choices. Let it touch the way you look at the world. Let it become the energy that carries you from one hour to the next. This is not just a nicer way to feel. It is a real change in the quality of your life. Because day by day, the energy you choose becomes the life you are building. And today, you are building from love. Today, you are walking in a softer energy. Today, you are allowing peace to shape your direction. Today, You are not handing the whole day to fear. You are bringing something better, something gentler, something stronger. Love changes the energy of the day, and because of that, this day can become a different kind of day, a lighter day, a calmer day, a more open day, a more blessed day, a day led by love. So much of the pain people carry in the morning does not come from what is happening right now. It comes from what the mind is already trying to hold. It reaches ahead into the day and tries to control every moment before it arrives. It tries to solve conversations that have not happened yet. It tries to fix problems that may never come. It tries to carry outcomes that are not ready to be known. And in that effort, something inside grows tired before the day has even begun. The heart becomes heavy, the body becomes tight, the mind becomes restless, the spirit feels crowded. This is what fear does. This is what rush does. This is what control does. They fill the morning with strain and make the day feel hard before it has even had the chance to unfold. But this morning, you do not need to begin that way. You do not need to start the day by holding everything at once. You do not need to rush into pressure. You do not need to force peace by trying harder. You do not need to control every part of what is ahead. You can release, you can soften. You can let this day arrive one moment at a time. That is one of the deepest gifts you can give yourself. Not the gift of having every answer, but the gift of not demanding every answer before the day begins. Not the gift of control, but the gift of trust. Fear often sounds convincing. It says, if you do not worry now, something will go wrong. If you do not plan every detail, you will miss something important. If you do not stay tense, you will not be ready. If you do not carry everything, everything will fall apart. But fear does not bring peace. It only creates more noise. It does not prepare the heart. It only exhausts it. It does not make the body wiser. It only makes the body tighter. Fear keeps promising safety, but so often it drives only strain. And the more you let fear lead the morning, the more the whole day begins to feel like something to survive rather than something to live. Rush has a similar voice. It says, faster, quicker, move, hurry, you are behind. It turns the morning into a race. It takes the breath and makes it shallow. It takes the body and makes it tense. It takes the mind and makes it scattered. And when rush becomes a habit, people stop noticing how much it costs them. They stop noticing the tightness in their chest. They stop noticing how little they are actually present. They stop noticing that peace is disappearing beneath the speed. But your spirit notices, your body notices, your heart notices. Something inside always knows when life is being lived too tightly. Control may seem calmer on the outside, but inside it often carries the same fear. Control says, if I can manage every detail, I can finally relax. If I can predict everything, I will be safe. If I can make the day go exactly as planned, then I can breathe. But life is not built that way. Life moves, life changes, life surprises. Life opens and closes doors in ways the mind cannot always understand. And when control is leading, even small changes feel threatening. A delay becomes a burden. A change becomes a problem. An unknown becomes a source of stress. This is what happens when the mind tries to hold what only life can carry. The truth is that control does not create peace. Peace comes when you stop demanding that life prove itself before you allow yourself to breathe. Peace comes when you let go of the grip. Peace comes when you say, I will meet this day with trust, one step at a time. Peace comes when you allow room for life to move without needing to force every part of it. That is not weakness, that is wisdom. That is a stronger way to live, a softer way, yes, but also a wiser way. Letting go is often misunderstood. People think that if they release fear, they will become careless. If they stop rushing, they will stop moving. If they let go of control, everything will fall apart. But letting go does not mean giving up. It means giving life room to breathe. It means no longer trying to carry what was never yours to carry alone. It means trusting that you can show up fully without gripping every outcome. It means understanding that force is not the same as strength. Sometimes true strength is the ability to soften. There is so much relief in that. Relief in not needing to know everything. Relief in not needing to control every reaction, every outcome, every hour, every answer. Relief in not needing to carry the whole weight of the day before your feet even touch the floor. Relief in saying, this morning I choose peace over panic. This morning I release the need to rush. This morning I trust that I can meet the day without forcing it. Notice what happens in your body when you hear that. Notice whether the shoulders soften a little. Notice whether the breath opens just a little. Notice whether the chest feels less tight. The body responds when fear is released. The mind responds when rush is not being fed. The whole system changes when control loosens, and those small changes matter because they make it possible for love to lead. You do not have to release everything all at once. You do not have to become perfectly peaceful in a single breath. You only have to begin to loosen your hold. You only have to tell yourself the truth that this moment is enough, this breath is enough, this step is enough. Life can unfold without me forcing every part of it. I can move with care without moving in fear. I can begin the day with trust rather than pressure. Maybe there is something specific your heart has been holding. A question, a worry, a person, a result, a need to know how something will turn out. Notice it gently. You do not have to push it away. You do not have to judge yourself for feeling it. Just notice it and then breathe. Breathe into that place with softness. Say inwardly, I release this with love. I do not need to solve this right now. I do not need to carry this alone. I let life help me. I let peace return to me. These words are not a denial of reality. They are a new way of standing inside it. Fear tightens the day before it begins. Love opens it. Rush steals the morning before it unfolds. Presence returns it. Control hardens the heart. Trust softens it. And what you choose in the morning becomes the direction of the day. So if fear has been leading, let this be the morning you change leaders. Let love lead. Let trust lead. Let calm lead. Let the breath lead. Let peace come first. The day does not need you in panic in order to unfold properly. Life does not need your fear to keep moving. The sun rises without your worry. The morning arrives without your tension. The breath continues without your control. There is already so much life happening without force. Let that teach you something. Let that remind you that not everything needs to be pushed. Not everything needs to be carried with strain. Some things unfold better when you soften. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. At first, the mind may still reach for fear. It may still reach for rush. It may still want to control, but now you can notice it sooner. Now you can choose differently sooner. Now you can return to your center sooner. And that is healing. Not never feeling fear again, but no longer letting fear be the first voice and the final voice. Not never feeling pressure again, but learning how to release it before it shapes the whole day. Not never wanting control again, but remembering that trust is lighter and wiser. This morning, your only work is to let go a little. Let go of the need to know everything. Let go of the need to rush into the future. Let go of the fear that you must carry the whole day on your back. Let go of the old belief that peace comes only after everything is solved. Peace can come now. Peace can come before the answers. Peace can come in the middle of not knowing. Peace can come the moment you soften your grip. Say softly, now I release fear, I release rush, I release the need to control. Again slowly, I release fear, I release rush, I release the need to control. Let those words move through you. Let them open space in the chest. Let them calm the body. Let them remind the mind that there is another way to begin, a better way, a gentler way, a freer way. You may still have a full day ahead, but you do not need to carry it all at once. You may still have important things to do, but you do not need to do them with inner violence. You may still care deeply, but care does not have to become fear. Effort does not have to become strain. Responsibility does not have to become panic. This is the shift. This is the wisdom. This is the freedom of releasing fear, rush, and control. Let this morning teach you that softness is safe. Let this morning teach you that peace is not laziness. Let this morning teach you that trust is not weakness. Let this morning teach you that the day can begin without battle. Let it begin with breath. Let it begin with space. Let it begin with love. Let it begin with the beautiful truth that you do not need to grip life so tightly in order to live it well. Now close your eyes for a moment if that feels right to you. or simply soften your gaze and let your breathing slow. Imagine that the morning around you is filled with a soft golden light. It is not harsh, it is not bright in a way that overwhelms you. It is gentle, warm, quiet, and full of peace. This light feels loving. It feels safe. It feels like the first tender breath of a new day. It surrounds you without pressure. It touches you without demand. It simply arrives, calm and steady, like grace entering the room. See this golden light all around you now. It fills the air near your face. It rests softly on your shoulders. It moves around your heart. It reaches your hands, your chest, your belly, your legs, your feet. It surrounds your whole body like a blanket of peace. With every breath in, the light grows warmer. With every breath out, the body lets go a little more. There is nothing to force here. There is nothing to perform here. You are simply receiving. You are allowing the morning to hold you with kindness. As you breathe, imagine this golden light moving gently into your mind. It enters through the quiet of your breath and begins to fill the places where worry has been living. It touches the thoughts that have been racing. It softens the old fears. It brings calm to the crowded rooms inside the mind, not by pushing thoughts away, but by giving them less power. The light creates space. The light creates quiet. The light says to your mind, you do not have to hold so much right now. You are safe enough to rest. You are safe enough to be still. You are safe enough to begin this day in peace. Now let the light move from the mind into the body. Feel it settling into the shoulders, where so much tension is often held. Feel it moving down the arms and into the hands, releasing pressure. Feel it moving into the jaw, softening the grip there. Feel it moving into the neck and chest, opening what has felt tight. Let it move into the belly, easing the places where fear has gathered. Let it move through the legs and feet, grounding you gently into the earth beneath you. This light does not rush. It knows exactly where to go. It knows how to bring peace to the places that have forgotten how to rest. Imagine now that with each breath out, you release something you no longer need to carry this morning. On the first breath out, release fear. Let it leave softly. You do not have to push it. Just let it go. On the next breath out, release pressure. Let the need to do everything at once melt away. On the next breath out, release the old stories that say you must be tense to be prepared. Release the belief that you must begin the day already burdened. Release the need to know every answer before the day begins. Let the morning take that weight from you. Now imagine that in the center of your chest, right where your hand might rest over your heart, there is a small light of your own. At first, it is quiet, soft, almost like a tiny flame. But as the golden morning light surrounds you, this light inside you begins to glow more strongly. It is the light of love. It is the light of peace. It is the light of healing. It has always been there, even on the hard days, even in the tired seasons, even when fear was loud, It has always been there, and now it is waking gently with you. Watch that inner light grow warmer with every breath. See it filling your chest with calm. See it spreading through your whole body. See it touching your thoughts, your feelings, your energy. This is what happens when you begin the day with love. The love that is already within you begins to rise. It begins to guide your morning. It begins to speak more clearly than fear. It begins to shape the energy of everything that follows. This light is not outside help alone. It is also your own deepest truth returning to the surface. Now imagine the day ahead of you, not as something frightening or heavy, but as a path gently opening in front of you. You do not need to see every part of it. You do not need to know every turn. You only need to see that the path is covered in this same golden light. The hours ahead are being touched by peace before you even step into them. The conversations ahead are being touched by love before they even begin. The work ahead, the choices ahead, the unknown parts ahead are all being held in light. You are not walking into darkness. You are walking into a day blessed by calm. Take a moment to feel what that means. The day is not your enemy. The morning is not rushing against you. Life is not pushing you before you are ready. Instead, you are being invited to walk gently, to move with trust, to bring your healed energy into the day rather than your old fear. This golden light goes with you. It does not disappear when you open your eyes. It stays with you in your breath, in your heart, in your body, in your way of moving. You can return to it anytime, at any hour. If the day grows loud, you can pause and remember this light. You can take one breath and come back. Imagine now that the golden light around you grows even softer and stronger at the same time. It becomes a field of peace around your whole being. Nothing harsh can enter this space without first being touched by calm. Nothing fearful can reach you without meeting the truth that you are centered in love. This is not a wall. It is not separation. It is simply a loving energy around you, a reminder that you are allowed to move through the day without taking in every bit of fear around you. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to stay rooted in love. Say softly within yourself, I am surrounded by light. I am held in peace. Love fills my mind, my body, and my day. Again, I am surrounded by light. I am held in peace. Love fills my mind, my body, and my day. Let those words move gently through the image you are holding. Let them deepen the feeling of safety. Let them become part of the light itself. Now imagine the sun rising a little more, touching the world around you. It touches the room. It touches the floor beneath you. It touches the air near your skin. It touches the day that is waiting to open. And as it rises, you understand something simple and beautiful. Just as the morning light arrives without struggle, love can rise in you without struggle too. Just as the sun does not force its way into the day, you do not have to force peace into your spirit. You only have to open. You only have to receive. You only have to let this moment do what it is already doing, healing you gently. Rest in that feeling for a few breaths. Let your body grow even softer. Let your mind become even quieter. Let your heart feel even more open. Nothing is being demanded of you right now. You are simply being filled with warmth, filled with love, filled with the kind of peace that prepares you to move through the day with grace. And if there is still any heaviness left in you, imagine placing it into the golden light, a worry, a sadness, a pressure, a question. Let the light hold it for a while. Let the morning carry what you have been carrying alone. You do not need to solve it right now. You do not need to push it away. Just place it into the light and let it rest there. Let this be the morning when you remember that you are not meant to carry everything with strain. You are allowed to be supported. You are allowed to be guided. You are allowed to begin in peace. Now take one slow breath in and feel the light fill you completely. Take one slow breath out and feel any last tightness leaving your body. Gently, without rushing, bring your awareness back to this moment. Keep the light with you. Keep the softness with you. Keep the love with you. The golden morning is now inside you. It is part of your energy. It is part of your beginning. And wherever you go today, this peace can go with you. The most beautiful healing is often simple. It is not always found in doing more. It is often found in returning to what is gentle, steady, and true. That is why a morning practice matters so much. It gives your mind something loving to return to. It gives your body a calmer beginning. It gives your heart a place to stand before the noise of the day begins. A simple morning practice can change more than people realize, because what you repeat in the early hours begins to shape the rest of your day. This practice does not need to be long. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to look like anyone else's. It only needs to be real enough for your heart to feel it. Even a few quiet minutes can help you begin differently. Even one peaceful breath can create a new direction. Even one loving sentence can shift the energy of the morning. The power is not in doing a lot. The power is in doing something with presence. So before the day fully takes your attention, pause. Sit up slowly or stay still for a moment where you are. Place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. If that feels comforting, let your breath settle. Inhale gently through the nose. Exhale slowly. Again. Inhale peace. Exhale pressure. One more time. Inhale love. Exhale fear. Let these first breaths tell your body that it is safe to begin. Let them tell the mind that peace is welcome here. After those breaths, speak your affirmations slowly, not as lines to rush through, but as truths to feel. Let each sentence land before moving to the next. Let the words pass through the mind and into the body. Let the body hear them. Let the heart hear them. Let the energy of the whole day hear them. Say softly, I begin this day with love. Pause. Let that truth settle. I begin this day with love. Again, gently. I begin this day with love. The first words of the morning matter. Let these be your first words. Let them become the tone of the hours ahead. Let them remind you that today begins in kindness. Then say, my mind is peaceful, not because every thought is gone, but because peace is becoming the place you return to. My mind is peaceful. Again, my mind is peaceful. Let those words soften the noise inside. Let them quiet the rush. Let them remind your thoughts that they do not have to race to deserve calm. Now say, my body is healing. My body is healing. Again, my body is healing. Let that truth move into your shoulders, your chest, your breath, your belly, your whole system. Let your body hear that it is not being pushed today. It is being loved. It is being supported. It is being allowed to soften. Then say, today is filled with good. Not because you know every detail of what will happen, but because you are choosing to stay open to grace. Today is filled with good. Again, today is filled with good. Let that open your expectation. Let that teach your heart to notice beauty. Let that help you carry trust into what is still unknown. You can stay with these 4 affirmations each morning if you like. They are simple enough to remember and strong enough to guide the day. I begin this day with love. My mind is peaceful. My body is healing. Today is filled with good. But you can also add a few more when your heart needs them. You might say, I move gently through this day, or life supports me today, or I release fear and choose peace, or I trust that love is guiding me. The words do not need to be many. They only need to be true enough for your spirit to hold them. Repetition is what makes them powerful. The more gently and often you return to them, the deeper they begin to settle into your life. A morning practice is not only about what happens in those few quiet minutes, it is also about what those minutes create in you. They create a center. They create a soft place to return to later. When the day becomes busy, you can return to the words. When stress rises, you can return to the breath. When fear begins to speak, you can answer it with the same truths you planted in the morning. That is why this practice matters. It becomes a source of strength that goes with you. There is something very healing about repeating loving words every day. At first, the mind may not fully believe them. That is all right. Keep going. Seeds do not bloom the moment they are planted. Healing does not always show itself right away. But every time you repeat a loving truth, you are watering something good. Every time you choose a peaceful sentence over an old fearful one, you are building a new path in the mind. Every time you start the day with love, you are teaching your whole being a new way to live. You might even notice that some mornings one affirmation feels especially needed. On a day when the mind is busy, my mind is peaceful, may become your anchor. On a day when the body feels tired, my body is healing, may carry more warmth. On a day when life feels uncertain, today is filled with good, may open something hopeful inside you. Let your practice be alive. Let it meet you where you are. Let it speak to what your heart needs that day. And remember, simple does not mean weak. Some of the deepest truths are the easiest to understand. Love heals. Peace is possible. The body listens. The day responds to the energy you bring. These are simple truths, but they are powerful enough to change the direction of a life when repeated with care. So never think your morning words are too small to matter. They are shaping your atmosphere. They are shaping your energy. They are shaping how you move through the world. You can make this practice even more tender by speaking each affirmation with a breath. Breathe in. I begin this day with love. Breathe out and let the body soften. Breathe in. My mind is peaceful. Breathe out and let the thoughts loosen. Breathe in. My body is healing. Breathe out and let the muscles release. Breathe in. Today is filled with good. Breathe out and let trust move through you. In this way, the breath and the words begin to work together. The breath carries the truth deeper. The truth gives the breath meaning. If you have only 1 minute, this practice is still enough. If you have 5 minutes, let it stretch a little more. Sit quietly after speaking the words. Feel them. Let silence hold them. Let the morning light touch them. Let your body absorb them. You do not have to rush away the moment the affirmations are done. Stay for 1 more breath. Stay long enough to feel that something has shifted, even if only a little. That little matters. There may be mornings when you do not feel very peaceful at all. There may be mornings when the old heaviness is still there. There may be mornings when you feel resistant, tired, or unsure. Those are the mornings this practice matters most, not because you must force a good feeling, but because you deserve something loving before the day continues. On those mornings, let the words be gentle. Whisper them if you need to. Let them be a comfort, not a demand. Let them meet your tiredness with kindness. You can also return to the affirmations later in the day, while making tea, while stepping outside, while washing your hands, while waiting in line, while sitting in silence for a moment. The morning practice begins, the energy, but repetition keeps it alive. The more you return, the more natural it becomes to speak love over your own life. The more you repeat peace, the more peace begins to feel like home. So let this be your morning ritual now, simple and sacred. A few slow breaths, a hand on the heart, loving words spoken with care. No pressure, no force, just presence, just truth, just the quiet building of a better inner life. Over time, this simple practice becomes more than a habit. It becomes a way of greeting life. It becomes a way of blessing the day before it begins. It becomes a way of telling yourself again and again, I deserve a loving start. Say them once more now, slowly, with feeling. I begin this day with love. My mind is peaceful. My body is healing. Today is filled with good. Again, I begin this day with love. My mind is peaceful. My body is healing. Today is filled with good. Let those words stay with you. Let them become the song beneath the day. Let them rise again when fear tries to return. Let them remind you of who you are becoming. Someone who begins gently. Someone who chooses peace. Someone who trusts healing. Someone who allows good to enter. As this time comes to a close, let yourself stay in the softness you have created. There is no need to rush away from it. There is no need to leave this peace behind as if it belongs only to these few quiet moments. It belongs to you. It can move with you into the rest of the day. It can stay in your breath. It can stay in your body. It can stay in your thoughts. It can stay in the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you meet whatever comes. This morning, peace is not something far away. It is here. It is real. It is now. Take another slow breath and feel your whole body soften just a little more. Let the shoulders drop. Let the jaw release. Let the heart stay open. Let the breath move easily. You do not have to hold so tightly anymore. You do not have to begin this day already carrying the whole world. You do not have to know everything. You do not have to prove anything. You only need to stay connected to the truth you have chosen this morning. Love is here. Peace is here. Healing is here. And because these are here, you can step into the day differently. Remember that you are not alone in this day. Life is with you. Love is with you. The same quiet strength that carried you through yesterday is carrying you now. The same breath that came to you in the night is with you now. The same light that rises each morning rises for you too. There is support around you and within you, even when you do not always see it. There is wisdom moving through life. There is kindness still present in the world. There is grace available in ordinary moments. And when you begin with love, you become more able to notice it. So let gratitude rise now, not as something forced, but as something gentle. Gratitude for this breath. Gratitude for this new day. Gratitude for the chance to begin again. Gratitude for the mind that is learning peace. Gratitude for the body that is learning to soften. Gratitude for the heart that is opening. Gratitude for the love that is already at work, even in quiet ways. Gratitude does not mean everything is perfect. It means you are willing to notice what is still good. It means you are willing to honor what is healing. It means you are willing to receive this moment fully. Place your hand on your heart again and whisper softly, "Thank you for this new day. Thank you for love. Thank you for healing. Thank you for peace. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for the good that is already here and the good that is on its way." Let those words be warm inside you. Let them become a blessing over your morning. Let them remind your spirit that life is not only something to manage, it is also something to receive. There is so much comfort in knowing that you do not have to create the whole day alone. You bring your energy, yes, you bring your love, your trust, your presence, but life meets you too. The day is not only asking from you, it is also offering to you. It offers moments of beauty. It offers small mercies. It offers signs of support. It offers quiet lessons. It offers chances to begin again in the middle of the day if you need to. So walk into the day with open hands. Walk into the day with a softer heart. Walk into the day knowing that good can still find you. If the day becomes busy later, remember this feeling. If fear tries to return, remember this breath. If old thoughts begin again, remember the truths you spoke this morning. Return to them kindly. Return to them often. There is no failure in needing to return. Returning is part of the practice. Returning is part of healing. Returning is how love becomes stronger than habit. You can come back to peace as many times as you need. You can come back to the heart as many times as you need. You can come back to love as many times as you need. Before you move on, say softly one more time, I begin this day with love. My mind is peaceful. My body is healing. Today is filled with good. Let the words settle. Let them bless the hours ahead. Let them become your quiet promise to yourself, a promise that you will not begin in fear, a promise that you will speak kindly to your own life, a promise that you will move gently where you can, a promise that you will allow healing to happen in simple ways, a promise that you will remember love first. And as you go into this day, let your eyes stay open to beauty. Let your heart stay open to kindness. Let your body stay open to ease. Let your mind stay open to peace. Notice the small good things, a soft light through a window, a kind word, a calm breath, a little moment of stillness. These are blessings too. These are signs that life is still speaking gently to you. These are reminders that peace is not somewhere far away. It is woven into the ordinary moments when you are present enough to receive it. So go gently now. Go with trust. Go with a quiet strength. Go with the knowing that love is not only something you feel once in a while, it is something you can choose. It is something you can begin with. It is something that can guide your day, steady your mind, soften your body, and brighten your way. Let that be enough. Let that be your morning gift. Let that be your blessing as you move forward. This morning began with a choice, and that choice was love. From that one choice, everything else began to shift. The mind began to soften. The body began to relax. The energy of the day began to change. Fear no longer had to lead. Rush no longer had to set the pace. Control no longer had to carry the weight of the hours ahead. Instead, there was breath, there was peace, there was gentleness, there was the quiet understanding that healing does not have to arrive through force. It can arrive through kindness. Starting the morning with love is not a small thing. It is a powerful way of living. It changes the first words you speak to yourself. It changes the first feeling your body receives. It changes the atmosphere you carry into the day. It reminds you that your mind deserves peace, your body deserves care, and your heart deserves a soft place to begin. It reminds you that you do not have to enter the day in battle. You can enter it in trust. You can enter it in healing. You can enter it in love. Carry this with you now. Carry the breath. Carry the affirmations. Carry the golden light. Carry the truth that you are allowed to move through this day with more softness than before. And when you forget, return. When you feel rushed, return. When the old fear rises, return. Return to your heart. Return to your breath. Return to the simple truth you have planted here. I begin this day with love. Let that truth walk beside you through every hour. Let it shape the way you think, the way you speak, the way you respond, the way you rest. Let it bless the ordinary moments and steady the difficult ones. Let it become more than a morning thought. Let it become the way you meet life. And so, with a peaceful mind, a healing body, and a heart open to good, step into this day knowing that love is already with you, peace is already within you, healing is already beginning. Today is not just another day to get through. It is a new day to live gently, fully, and with love.